Imagine a new teammate joins your company. They don't need a desk, they don't take coffee breaks, but they can analyze 1,000 documents before you've even finished your first sip of coffee. Now, this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is the reality of AI agents, and believe me, they are logging on for work right now.
And look, it's not just me saying this. Industry leaders are all pointing to 2026 as the year this technology really hits the mainstream. We're not talking about some far-off future anymore. This is a shift that's happening in real time, and it's completely reshaping how businesses get things done.
So, what exactly is an AI agent? Well, to put it simply, it's a program that can think for itself. This is way beyond a simple chatbot that just responds to a prompt. We're talking about autonomous systems that can understand a goal, come up with a multi-step plan, and then actually execute it. The key thing to remember is they're designed to be our digital coworkers, handling the complex stuff so we can focus on the big picture.
Okay, so you might be wondering, what's the big rush? Why has this technology suddenly gone from a cool concept in a research lab to a must-have for businesses? Well, as it so often does, a big part of the answer comes down to following the money.
And when I say money, I mean we are witnessing a full-blown market explosion. The amount of investment and growth in the AI agent space, it's just staggering. It's signaling a really fundamental shift in the economy.
So the market kicked off this year at over $5 billion. Now, that's a pretty solid number on its own. But what's really wild is where it's going from here. This is just the launch pad.
Get ready for this number, a compound annual growth rate of nearly 46%. Let that sink in. That means the market is set to grow by almost half its entire value every single year for the next decade. That's not just growth, that is absolute hypergrowth.
And this table just lays out the incredible acceleration. I mean, look at these numbers. The market is on track to pretty much double every 2 years. It's rocketing from just under $8 billion next year to over $236 billion by 2034. To put that in perspective, we're talking about growth of over 2,800% in less than a decade. This isn't a trend, it's a tidal wave of cash and adoption.
So, where is all this happening? Right now, North America has the biggest piece of the pie, which makes sense given its huge tech sector. But you're going to want to keep a close eye on the Asia-Pacific region. See that 19% slice? It might be third for now, but it's pegged as the fastest growing market out there. This is a truly global race.
Okay, so a tidal wave of money is pouring in. But where is it all going? What are businesses actually hiring these new digital coworkers to do all day? Let's get into the practical side of things and see how these agents are really being put to work.
According to a recent report from LangChain, the #1 job for these agents is research. A full 58% of companies are using them to just sift through massive amounts of data and spit out summaries, a task that used to take teams of people days, if not weeks. Right behind that is personal productivity and, of course, completely transforming customer service.
And it's not a one-size-fits-all solution either. The way big companies use agents is pretty different from small businesses. You see enterprises using them for huge strategic tasks, things like supply chain management and cybersecurity. Meanwhile, small businesses are all about immediate efficiency gains, automating their marketing, generating content, and providing that 24/7 customer support they could never afford before.
And please, don't make the mistake of thinking this is just a big corporation game. A staggering 68% of U.S. small businesses are already using AI. They're leveraging these tools to automate, to personalize, and to compete head-on with the big guys. It's genuinely leveling the playing field.
Okay, so with all this talk of automation, the big question always comes up. What about our jobs? Well, the leading strategy here isn't about replacement at all. It's about partnership. It's about figuring out the new rules for managing a team that's part human, part AI.
And I think this quote from Microsoft's chief of AI products just hits the nail on the head. The goal isn't to make people obsolete. It's to amplify what we can do, to free us up from all that routine work so we can focus on creativity, strategy, and innovation. You know, the things that humans are actually best at.
So, how do you actually do it right? Well, PwC lays out a really clear 3-step playbook. First, leadership needs to pick a few high-impact areas to focus on. That ensures you get a big win right out of the gate. Second, don't just sprinkle AI everywhere. Go deep. Completely transform one specific workflow to create a clear success story. And third, you send in your A-team. Put your best people on this to show the entire organization just how important it is.
Of course, it's not all sunshine and roses. The road to getting this right is not without its bumps. There are some really significant challenges and risks that every leader needs to be thinking about before they dive in head first.
One of the biggest obstacles is just that the performance can still be a bit unreliable. But honestly, the security risks are what's truly alarming. Over half of leaders are worried about vulnerabilities, and they have every reason to be. More than 50% of these agents have access to sensitive data, and a shocking 80% of firms say their agents have acted outside of their intended boundaries. That's a massive governance problem with potentially huge consequences.
But even with these challenges, the trajectory is crystal clear. Over the next few years, AI agents are going to become a standard, totally integrated part of the workforce. Your future teammates are on their way.
And the timeline is moving fast. By 2027, that's just a few years away, agents could be automating half of all routine business tasks. By 2028, a third of the software your company uses will probably have agents built right in. And by 2030, the economic impact could hit an unbelievable $4.4 trillion a year. For context, that is larger than the entire economy of Germany. This is a full-blown workplace revolution.
So here's the final takeaway. AI agents are not some technology to just keep an eye on anymore. They are, for all intents and purposes, the newest members of your team. So the real question isn't if they'll show up, but whether you are prepared to manage, integrate, and lead this new hybrid workforce. So are you ready?